Uh, yeah, these kids. We're at a point, Hunter, with the
Mhm.
XFL if they can survive. Luck said that Commissioner Oliver Luck yesterday. It looks like they'll be going. They're planning for a year or two. What they're doing with the draft is they're actually scouting the draft combine, watching it now on TV and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So they'll be contacting
Do you want to
players.
know who I think would be a good name to fit there? Because I don't think he's really going to make it as a starting quarterback in the NFL, but I think he could really shine in the XFL. And I'm not saying Jake Fromm. I know that was a funny tweet, but I think that would work as well.
Yeah,
It's Kelly Bryant. I'm talking about from this year's combine. It's Kelly Bryant out of Missouri. Now, he won a bunch of games at Clemson and proved that he could play quarterback at Clemson. Just Trevor Lawrence came in and took his spot. But if it doesn't pan out in the NFL where people are thinking like, oh, well, maybe Jalen Hurts could be a backup as well. If Kelly Bryant doesn't want to be a backup and like he didn't want to be at Clemson and decides he wants to go play, the XFL would be a perfect opportunity for him because there are 4 teams really in the XFL that have definitely 3 that have poor to abysmal quarterback play. He would be miles better than what they have. So I think this is a perfect. I think what the XFL is doing with this is perfect. I think that's the best mindset they have, and they have the draft the weekend after the NFL draft.
Yeah,
that would be perfect. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. See who gets signed on draft night, and see what undrafted free agents get signed, and after that, there you go. There's your draft pool.
I think they're doing it. They just don't take too big steps. Take your baby steps. Be solid.
But I am glad that he said and came out and said that they're planning for a year too. That's good.
He went over.
That's
he
really
came
good.
out and said that yesterday. Well, funny on that end. I did. It seemed like I was something else in the NBA I was wanting to say, but I can't remember what it was. XFL Renegades of Dallas this week playing Houston.
A Texas Throwdown. That's literally what the name is.
If you're
the XFL
following
list.
on Twitter, these boys are having some fun on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Renegades, which is Dallas, who signed my favorite college player of all time this week, Armani Edwards, signed to play wide receiver. He's going to be wide receiver for Landry Jones, and he's probably the best quarterback on the roster. But we won't go there.
Won't go there.
I don't get it. So but the Renegades and Texans Roughnecks, whatever they are arguing about on the Twitter.
Yeah, I expect him to.
So Dallas,
barking.
One of the best ones they tweeted at him was a picture of the space shuttle.
Yeah.
Going up in the air and whatever.
Yeah.
And Dallas's comments. Let's see if I can get back down to it. I want to make sure I say it right. Dang it. Of course, it disappears right in front of me.
That's so funny.
Right when I'm looking.
That's so funny that they're like trying to go ahead and build up this rivalry, and it's literally the first year of it.
Yeah, it's the first. It's telling that the most popular organization in that means the most popular organization in the city of Houston, their primary goal is launching people as far away from Houston as humanly possible. That's a shot fired at Houston, boys. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It's telling the most popular organization in the city of Houston that their primary goal is launching people as far away from Houston as humanly possible.
If you don't get that joke,
great.
He's talking about NASA.
Yeah. The most popular organization in Houston is NASA, and their primary goal is to launching people in space away from Houston. Dallas Renegades comment. A lot of people getting mad online these days in Houston. Someone said, "That's Florida, not Houston." He said, "Thanks, buddy.
Point.
We're just ripping on your city." It probably is.
Yeah.
Houston is the control center.
Houston, we have a problem.
They shoot the rockets in Florida. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Should the Houston Rockets have to change their name then? To the Houston Control Center. Houston Control.
Nah.
Houston something. The Roughnecks.
Yeah.
The Ridgenecks.
I don't know.
Some type of
Ridge
neck.
neck.
Rednecks, whatever you want to call them.
Some kind of neck.
These names.
Let me tell you something. I see the Houston and Dallas XFL matchup probably being the best game this weekend. LA and New York, unless New York figures out something about their offense, LA's going to blow them out just like they blew out DC last week. DC is playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, unless they figure something out with their offense, DC is going to bounce back after getting the brakes beat off of them.
Hunter, the
And then
XFL
Seattle and St. Louis, this is the second game in St. Louis. Do you think they draw the crowd that they
Yeah,
did the first time?
they will.
Especially since they come off
They
the
will
win.
win.
What did they say? It was 29,000.
29,000.
Maybe they'll go for more. Maybe they'll get maybe 30,000 since they're seeing that the team's actually winning. And then and Seattle, that's another team with mediocre quarterback play against a team with good quarterback play. So Houston and Dallas, that's the one where it's like you've got the really good red hot quarterback right now in PJ Walker versus he's like the middle of the road. He's not bad, but he's not great in the league in Landry Jones. So I think that's easily going to be the best game. And what I did notice as well, the XFL on Sundays are starting to push their times back just a little bit. Yeah, this Sunday, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So I think I don't know if it's for viewing reasons. Maybe they're thinking that's when they're starting to get more views. It might be. Maybe it's just because both of these teams, no, because the DC Tampa Bay game's on the East Coast. So I don't know. But, the 4 o'clock.
Might have a soccer game or something before.
I don't know. But the 4 o'clock game, that's usually Dallas's time, 4:25. That's when Houston and Dallas will be playing on Sunday, and then 7 o'clock DC and Tampa Bay. But meanwhile, on Saturday, it's a 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock matchup. 2 o'clock, the Wildcats and the Guardians. 5 o'clock, the Seattle Dragons and the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'm picking Wildcats, Battlehawks, Roughnecks, and Defenders to win the game. I think the 4 teams that are really riding hot right now continue their hot streak. But I think the Dallas game can be really intriguing. Let me just look at the line. I haven't looked at any of the lines right now. Week 4 preview, again, for those who don't know what we're talking about, XFL, if you have not watched it and you are a football fan, you're truly missing out. I know it is combine season right now, but that doesn't mean you have to miss out on some sort of professional football. So we're looking at the lines right now. The spread on this game is Houston, DraftKings Sportsbook, Houston by 2. So they have this game being very close.
So I was thinking about this the other day with the spreads and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
This is your chance to let your little sister, daughter, wife, someone just pick the games.
Right.
Because they will have just as much as success. Picking these XFL games right now
yes.
is like picking the college basketball tournament.
You never know.
Between the 5 and 13 seeds, because they're all actually bad teams that you don't know what they're going to do. So what I'm saying is that how much money did the gamblers make last week with DC losing?
And big. I mean, LA blew them
they
out.
lost a ton of money. I mean, the actual gamblers lost a ton. I'm sure most gamblers were betting on DC.
Yeah, because DC was going into that game 2-0 and being probably the hottest offense in the league outside of Houston.
Yep.
And they got absolutely blown out. Blown out of the water. So it's -2 on DraftKings Sportsbet. Fox Bet has Houston at 1.5, and the consensus spread is 0.3 for Houston. So that's consensus spread 0.3 for Houston. So I think that's probably going to be the closest game of the weekend, and it's more than likely going to be the best game of the weekend.
What is he talking? Someone special was on campus today. Did you spot? Oh goodness.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know what to think about this, Hunter. I'm gonna pull up a picture if I can.
Yeah.
Is what I'm gonna try to do for the folks online.
I'll go over the rest of the
because
spreads.
they're not you do the spreads for a minute. And I'm
Other spreads: DC Defenders at the Tampa Bay Vipers. DC is favored by 2.5. To be honest, I would take DC to cover that. I think they're going to bounce back from taking a heavy loss against the Los Angeles Wildcats. And I've just seen enough out of the Tampa Bay Vipers. They don't know exactly what they're getting out of their quarterback week to week. So that, if you ask me, definitely looking to take DC Defenders to be the favor to cover that spread. We're going to look now at the Seattle and St. Louis game. That used to be the Seahawks and the Rams. Well, now it's the Dragons and the Battlehawks. We've got the St. Louis Battlehawks. This is probably the biggest spread of the day, and it is -11. So St. Louis minus 11 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Fox Bet has them at 11.5. A number that big, a lot of the time people would take Seattle to cover, but this is St. Louis at home, and this is obviously the superior offense with the Battlehawks. I'm definitely going to take St. Louis to cover the 11-point spread, if not exactly at 11. And I think it just makes it it makes a bigger difference. I see that. It makes a bigger difference that they are, in fact, playing at home. They're going to be playing at home. And now we have the final game of the weekend. Well, really, it's one of the first games, but the last one that I'll be talking about the lines for. This is another big line. They do realize that the Guardians' offense for New York is really struggling.
Hey, how about the Guardians?
Oh, I saw the picture. It's a gargoyle.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a gargoyle.
We didn't know.
I thought it was a lion.
We talked about it the other day. We thought it was some type of a mountain lion or something.
Yeah.
They're gargoyles.
Yeah, they're
Why
gargoyles.
didn't they just name the team
the Gargoyles?
the Gargoyles? People know what a gargoyle is. People don't know what the gargoyle is. A guardian.
There are a ton of things that are guardians. I mean, there's Guardians of the Galaxy. You could have had a raccoon.
I mean, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So for you folks watching online, this is the Guardians logo. If you looked at that and thought that was a gargoyle, you are an amazing person.
I thought it was a lion because it looks like the mane is coming off of it.
But they're actually gargoyles. I'm trying to find the picture from the field or whatever.
Yeah, they have like a statue gargoyle out there.
Scary is what it is.
Yeah, it's actually really scary. Let me just finish this final line.
Yeah.
LA at New York, coming cross country. LA is favorited by 7.5. I think New York can cover this, but I'm going to take LA to do the covering. I think New York can cover. I think, but after what I saw LA do to DC, I'm going to take LA to cover the 7.5 point spread on DraftKings Sports Bet, 6.5 point spread for Fox Bet, and that is your XFL lines for the weekend.
I wouldn't bet on probably any of them.
I know nobody. I mean,
good. There's a ton of gamblers that do.
Degenerate gamblers, and I'll also say this. I mean, this is a good time if the XFL wanted to do it to test betting at the stadiums.
I think that would be the first ones to.
I mean,
take care of all that.
Dan Snyder's already pushing for a new stadium to be built for the Redskins that will include in-stadium betting. I'm like, well, okay.
There.
I mean, I'm for it. Yeah, there it is. And when I saw that, I was like, man, what? Okay, well, I don't know what. That's not a Guardian.
There you go.
Yeah.
For you folks out there. That's a pretty scary looking dude.
Yeah.
But they made their own gargoyle out of their logo, I guess, because you see the lines on the side of his head. There.
Right.
So
Why is the red just so?
It looked like somebody photoshopped
it
that.
Does look like someone photoshopped
I think they
that.
did. I think those were white teeth and someone photoshopped the red on it.
Probably. I was supposed to say it looks weird. It doesn't look right.
So what we're
unless
asking
it just glows.
You know, if you've been paying attention to the show the last few weeks, I can't stand these generic team names where if you say the name, you don't know what the mascot is. So I didn't know what a Guardian was.
I mean, I still don't know what a roughneck is. It literally looks like the Houston Oilers logo. Just
did they call the people who worked on the oil rigs roughnecks? That's my question. Because the logo is a knockoff of the old Houston Oiler logo. So that's my question. Maybe, Hunter, is that maybe that has something to do with they were called roughnecks or something like that. But we're sitting here looking at this right now. If you're watching online, that is a gargoyle from the New York Guardians. I wish they would just name the team the Gargoyles. How about that?
Yeah.
That would be a cool name. I would know what they were. Everyone would know what a gargoyle was. Then you could have all kinds of mascots.
Call him the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't care.
He's not a gargoyle.
I know he's not, but
speaking of mascots,
there are some in the movie.
So for you folks, I just want to show you the cool gargoyle of the New York Guardians. And that's going to lead me showing
Gargoyles used to be a cartoon TV show growing up.
Yeah, I mean,
it did.
Andre and I talked about that this morning. We both loved that show. I don't know if you ever got.
I did.
Did you get to watch some of it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
How do you think I remember it?
I don't know how you remember some things. I mean, you do know some things, and then other things
don't know
in left
something.
field.
Isn't that how everybody is? I mean, you're the one that just asked me about soccer, and it's been around forever.
Well, Hunter, again.
All right.
I'm going to give you a list of sports that I consider above soccer on my repertoire. Baseball, basketball, soccer, golf, and NASCAR. All of them before I'll ever watch. Wait, let me sixth is tennis. I definitely watch tennis before I would soccer.
God, help you. Someone help you. Have you ever been to a professional soccer game?
Fuck no. Why?
Why would you not? They're actually pretty fun.
No.
I went to the professional team in Utah.